Legendary actress passes away.
Kevin!
The Canadian-American actor best known for her roles in Schitt's Creek, Home Alone, and Beetlejuice. The price of plowing.
It costs us about $450,000.
Did Mother Nature's latest snowfall affect the city's winter maintenance budget? Competing creativity.
Just throwing out your clothes is kind of just a waste.
Putting the spotlight on sustainable design.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. There is surprise and sadness over word that Canadian comedy legend Catherine O'Hara has died. The actress and comedian died at her home in Los Angeles today following a brief illness. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver looks back on the amazing life and a legacy that spanned parts of 6 decades.
Do we set the timers on the lights?
Considered a cultural trailblazer and the queen of improv,
Kevin!
Catherine O'Hara had a rare ability to give complex and often eccentric characters depth and humanity. A craft she mastered at the famed improv theater Second City in her hometown of Toronto. She started there waiting tables.
Want to fall in love?
But in 1974, her love for acting would land her a role on the hugely successful Second City television.
Gonna be a frosty snow girl, I'm gonna deck your halls.
She had no formal training, but O'Hara's enthusiastic spirit and determination quickly made her an award-winning star in Canada.
If you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go and stay, and I will take you with me!
Propelling her to international fame with roles in hit movies from Beetlejuice.
Oh! What the? God, are you all right?
To the mockumentary comedy film Best in Show.
I sense there's something in the wind.
And the cult classic animated movie The Nightmare Before Christmas.
My bag! It's gone!
But one of the roles she's best known for, Moira Rose in the hit show Schitt's Creek.
Crocodile back to what my mother gave me!
Her performance in the Canadian production was met with critical acclaim and garnered her multiple acting awards.
I would love to stand up here and tell you this was all just a walk in the cake, but it wasn't.
At one of her last appearances at TIFF just 4 months ago, O'Hara thanked her longtime friend and colleague, Eugene Levy.
When I think of my happiest days in this adventure and show business, I realize most of them have been with you.
An adventure in show business that spanned more than 50 years. O'Hara was 71. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
O'Hara's impact on the big screen and the comedy stage is being remembered here in Windsor. The executive director of the Windsor International Film Festival says O'Hara belongs on the Mount Rushmore of Canadian entertainment. Vincent Georgie credits her for helping set the stage for other Canadian actresses to grow. At some point, Georgie says WIF will announce ways to honor O'Hara's legacy.
I think her being in major American blockbusters like a Beetlejuice, like a Home Alone, sort of set the stage for anything that's really possible. And being that adept at what she did, I think she's just excellent.
In other news, it's been an expensive week for Windsor thanks to Mother Nature. More than $500,000 has already been spent to clear away the snow. And the city admits they are conserving the salt they have. Joining me with more details so far, Michelle Mosky.
So far, and this is kind of an ironic story. The same day Windsorites were digging out of the biggest snowstorm so far this year, City Council voted to spend less on winter maintenance.
City streets are back to normal. The weekend snowstorm a distant memory, albeit an expensive one.
It takes about 24 hours for us to get through all of the streets, and it costs us about $450,000 once we move into the residential streets.
And that's only for the 24-hour period when crews got to residential streets. Ironically, the same day Windsor was digging out, City Council crunched the budget numbers for winter maintenance.
Are we still feeling comfortable with that number, Madam Treasurer?
Admin was proposing and council ultimately agreed to a 7% reduction in spending on snow removal, bringing the budget down to a little more than $5 million.
Like any other municipality, we have heavy years, we have lighter years. So the intent here was to try and normalize the process to some degree.
That's the nature of budgeting for large municipalities. Staff have to predict what's to come based on what's past. All of that without knowing what Mother Nature has in store. For example, over the last 5 years, Windsor has gone over budget on snow removal every year, except for 2023, when there was a $200,000 savings.
We've always had additional reserves we can tap into if it's a very heavy year.
Meanwhile, if you feel like there's less salt on the streets, you aren't mistaken.
And although we're fine, we're not depleted, as I'm told, that the supply is not as robust as we're used to having.
Even though we are home to the Windsor salt mine, the city will only get what their contract stipulates, regardless of what Mother Nature sends our way.
We're watching our P's and Q's on salt and salt usage because there is the possibility, if this type of snow and ice keeps up, that we would be in a deficit position, which wouldn't be good for anyone.
Now, at that council meeting, the city made it clear, even if they're budgeting less money for snow removal and Mother Nature dumps more right now and more in the fall and winter later in the year, the city has to and will pay to clear snow, even if they have to dip into reserves to pay for it. Stefanie.
Okay, good to know. Michelle Molesky, thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Meantime, the City of Windsor and Circular Materials are launching what they call a Windsor-made solution to help people get rid of their old recycling bins and carts. For a 2-week period beginning February 10th, crews will be collecting old red and blue recycling containers, including Herbie Kirby bins. The goal to keep them out of the landfill. Anyone wishing to take part are asked to register online or by calling 311. For county residents, depots will be accepting the old bins between now and April 15th. Since January 1st, Circular Materials has been responsible for operating Ontario's new single-stream recycling program. Circular Materials says only the new blue carts from GFL Environmental can be collected because they are the only ones compatible with the new automated cart collection system.
Reuse is a great option here. Personally, I'm reusing my own 2 95-gallon carts that I have at home. City of Windsor will allow residents to use the rollout carts in garbage or in garbage or yard waste, just not the red and blue small bins. Those are not usable in the other streams.
Ottawa's ban on single-use plastics will stay in place. The Federal Court of Appeal has unanimously overturned a lower court decision. The 3-judge panel ruled that the federal government's decision to list plastic manufactured items as toxic was reasonable. The government defined toxic as substances which could harm the environment or biological diversity. In the 2023 decision, a court ruled the federal government overstepped its designation. Ottawa used the designation to regulate a ban on manufacturing and importing of 6 types of single-use plastics. Parties will have 60 days to ask the Supreme Court of Canada to review the decision. Well, the weekend is here for most. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins us for our first look at what we can expect. Gary.
Stefanie, tonight, cold, but not nearly as cold as it has been. Scattered flurries are a possibility, and we can see the clouds moving from northern latitudes, a northerly flow from where it originates. The likelihood of seeing temperatures get anywhere near seasonal in the next couple of days is relatively low. And with this northerly flow, it just reinforces the cold that's already here. The good news is the winds have decreased in terms of their intensity, so wind chill values, although in the minus teens, low minus 20s, are not likely to reach minus 30 for us in extreme southwestern Ontario. I'll break down what you need to know as we look towards more seasonal values next week, coming up shortly.
We turn now to our monthly Crime Stoppers report with coordinator Jamie Fumerton and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, auto thefts continue to be a concern for drivers across Windsor, Essex, but new numbers show that there's been meaningful progress.
Thanks, Stephanie. Well, let's start by taking a look at the auto theft statistics for 2025. So, Jamie, what are the key highlights?
The Windsor-based auto theft unit is reporting a notable decline in vehicle thefts since it peaked in 2021, where there were 757 reported cases. In 2025, the number of reported stolen vehicles dropped to 478.
Now, what's the most common way that vehicles are stolen?
So 102 of the vehicles reported stolen were as a result of keys being left in the vehicle or the vehicle left running. These are crimes of opportunity which put other motor vehicles and the public at risk.
So those kinds of thefts are easily preventable then?
Yes, don't leave the keys in the vehicle. And the auto theft unit is also advising they've laid 9 charges involving false stolen vehicle reports.
Now, describe to us some of the recent cases.
So one of the cases involves a white Mercedes that was left parked on the street, and 2 suspects approached the vehicle on foot. One appears to have either a spare key or a key fob. They're able to access the vehicle, enter it, and drive it away.
And what about the second video that you have?
The second video is a crime of opportunity in which a person leaves their vehicle running while entering a business, and a person sees this as a crime of opportunity, enters the vehicle, and again drives it away.
Now, do you have any tips for residents to prevent this type of thing from happening?
Yes. Keep your doors locked. Do not leave spare key fobs or spare keys in the vehicle. Keep your key fobs in a safe place, out of range when the vehicle is not in use, and don't leave your vehicles running when you're not using it.
And what can people do if they are a victim or a witness to something like this?
If you're a victim or a witness of a crime in progress, call 911. You can file a report with your local police service, or you can contact us at Crime Stoppers anonymously.
Great. Well, we put all that info on our website. Thanks, Jamie. And that's your Crime Stoppers report.
This takes us to our question of the day. Do you leave your vehicle unlocked when you aren't in it? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked, is your pet from a breeder or a shelter, or do you not have a pet? Out of almost 600 votes, 29% say from a breeder, 26% adopted from a shelter, and the remaining 45% say they do not have a pet. As we told you here last night at 6, Windsor travelers will soon have a new non-stop option. Porter Airlines is now launching daily direct flights between Windsor and Ottawa this spring. A move airport officials say is a response to growing demand from both business and leisure travelers. CTV's Chris Campbell reports.
Non-stop flights between Windsor and Ottawa are set to take off May 1st as Porter Airlines launches daily service between the two cities. Airport officials say this route has been cleared for takeoff for some time, with demand steadily climbing.
We've been talking to Porter about Ottawa for a while, and we've seen our numbers, our demand for Ottawa steadily increasing, I'd say, for the last year and a half or so, or maybe even 2 years. So it's great to have a direct connection to a city that people want to go to.
Airport President and CEO Mark Galvin says the route is a win for both business and leisure travelers, from local residents heading to Ottawa for government work to Canadians looking for a closer-to-home getaway.
We're seeing a lot more business people wanting to go to Ottawa, dealing with the federal government, for example. We're seeing the leisure travel. Obviously, leisure travel in Canada has gone up because Canadians are choosing to stay in Canada, which is great. And Ottawa is a wonderful destination, particularly in the summertime.
Porter says the Windsor-Ottawa route is part of its broader investment in Ottawa, creating a hub to give travelers access to more connections across its network. In a statement, Porter Airlines Vice President Andrew Pierce said the airline's overall network is growing by 20%, the fastest rate for any airline in North America, as we continue providing service for more passengers. He went on to say our long-standing commitment to a distinct elevated economy experience continues to result in exceptional customer satisfaction. Airport officials also see the move as a positive sign for Windsor International Airport's recovery and future growth.
That's all we try to do here, is to try to connect people here in our community to the places they want to go. And it's obviously difficult since COVID, and COVID's still around for the air sector. But this is a great announcement from a great partner.
Galvin adds strong passenger uptake could help pave the way for additional routes in the future.
If we use the route and they see that it's being embraced, it's much easier for us to meet again and say, what about this route? What about that route?
Daily nonstop service between Windsor and Ottawa begins May 1st. In Windsor, Chris Campbell, CTV News.
It's the last month for employees at Diageo in Amherstburg. Less than 100 employees remain on the job. Unifor Local 200 President John Dagnolo says 98 employees of the original 200 plus are still working at the Crown Royal bottling plant. The others have all either found work elsewhere or retired. Diageo announced in August a plan to close the facility on February 28th and moving the work to the United States. But Crown Royal will continue to be mashed, distilled, and aged at its facility in Gimli, Manitoba, and bottled for non-U.S. markets in Quebec. Dagnolo says the union hopes they can help every one of those employees find a new job. Premier Doug Ford has vowed to remove Crown Royal from the LCBO shelves after the Amherstburg facility closes. For the second time this week, a rally was held at Titan Tool. Former union leader Ken Luenza pleading with company owners to honor the memory of the founder. Titan Tool workers have been locked out for 174 days. Union chair Ken St. Pierre is adamant workers will continue to picket until a deal is struck or the company is closed. A new competition is testing the creativity of high school students. The objective, turn yesterday's clothes into tomorrow's fashion. As CTV's Bob Belichico shows us, the challenge puts the spotlight on sustainable design.
Just throwing out your clothes is kind of just a waste.
According to the website madeinca.ca, only 1% of clothing is recycled into new clothing, and about 87% of fibers used for clothing end up in landfills or incinerated. Elaine Chatwood, coordinator of the Fashion Design Technician program at St. Clair College, is hoping to help address the problem. She has created a Canada-wide competition for high school students.
Part of the industry, well, most of the industry is moving to sustainable business models as much as possible. So we started to see it in the industry, so we want to build it into our curriculum.
The goal of sustainable fashion is to keep a garment in circular use for as long as possible. Students are tasked with creating an outfit using upcycled garments, fabric, and found items.
I hope they learn that we should think of sustainability right from the beginning, right from the design perspective, what we're picking with fabrics, picking more organic, natural fabrics or fabrics that are recycled.
I like to flip things I find at the thrift store, and I like to take old sheets that I find at the thrift store and use them as fabric for my clothes.
Sophia Perry has been experimenting with upcycled clothing for years and is excited to create a design for the competition.
I'm going to take an old pair of jeans and I'm going to cinch them in, and then I'm going to make them bell bottoms, but I'm going to use the extra fabric from a sheet that I find. I hope it's patterned.
She'll also create a matching top.
Whenever you're done with your clothes, you put them in a bag and you send them off to Goodwill. It's just a cycle that can replenish itself, because just because you don't want something doesn't mean someone else can't use it or can't make it into something.
According to Made in CA, it takes over 3,700 liters of water to make a pair of jeans, from growing cotton to delivery in store. Chatwood says upcycling to a thrift store can help save landfills.
Looking at buying better quality, better fabrics, more natural fabrics, or recycled fibers. And they will cost a little bit more, but you've got to think about cost per wear.
The designs submitted will be fully wearable and runway ready. The top 3 will be selected by the St. Clair College faculty and showcased at the college's Atelier fashion show in April. Submissions are due March 2nd. Bob Belichico, CTV News.
The response has been insane. The craziest thing I've ever been a part of.
Sold out in hours, lines out the door, phones blowing up. Ahead on Windsor's News Leader, why this new business is shaking up the pizza scene. Key priorities later. What infectious diseases are being tracked in Windsor, Essex, and how does our location near the border affect those numbers? Monday, the groundhog decides if winter's sticking around or finally letting go. Will he see his shadow or call it early spring? That's Monday at 6 on CTV News. A new threat from U.S. President Donald Trump over certification and tariffs. This time, Bombardier is being targeted. We turn to CTV's Michael Couture with reaction from Ottawa.
Bombardier's Global 8000 is billed as the world's fastest civil aircraft since the Concorde. but it could be grounded in the U.S. as President Donald Trump targets the Quebec company as apparent retribution over the certification of an American jet in Canada. On Truth Social, Trump wrote the U.S. was decertifying their Bombardier Global Expresses and all aircraft made in Canada until such time as Gulfstream, a great American company, is fully certified. Gulfstream is a direct competitor of Bombardier, and industry experts point out there are reasons Canada has been holding off.
The U.S. has certified the Gulfstream 700 and the 800 with exemptions to look at that aircraft not being certified for very cold weather operations because of fuel line problems.
In response to the threat of decertifying Canadian aircraft, Bombardier said in a statement, thousands of private and civilian jets built in Canada fly in the U.S. every day. We hope this is quickly resolved to avoid a significant impact to air traffic and the flying public. But it remains unclear if the U.S. president even has the authority to decertify aircraft.
The only way that the type certificate can be revoked is if there is a safety issue with the aircraft.
Now, this is just the latest salvo in the ongoing trade war, which has seen Trump ramp up his rhetoric against Canada following the Prime Minister's visit to China.
You can't look at China as the answer.
In a statement about the threat, Minister Steve McKinnon said Transport Canada officials are in communication with their U.S. counterparts, and the Canadian government is actively working on this situation. Mike Lecouteur, CTV News, Ottawa.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is set to face a big test tonight. Party delegates will be voting on whether he should keep his job. Here's CTV's Jeremy Charron.
Well, the busiest day of this Calgary Conservative Convention now underway here, with all eyes on a big leadership vote this evening. Delegates here selected to represent Conservative members from ridings across the country will vote later today on whether Pierre Poilievre should remain the leader of the federal Conservative Party. This leadership test comes as a result of the Conservative Party's loss in the last federal election. It is widely expected that Mr. Poilievre will achieve a positive result. We've been speaking with delegates, some of whom know exactly where they stand already. Others aren't quite sure yet.
Do you support Mr. Poilievre as the leader?
Oh, yeah, most definitely, 100%.
It's still, when you go behind that curtain, it's still your private franchise, and you decide as you will at that time. So that's why I came to the convention to get a sense of what's happening.
Now, we're told Mr. Poilievre met with his caucus this morning ahead of his leadership review. Conservative Senator Denise Batters was at that meeting.
I'm glad to see that Pierre has taken that part of our process very seriously because, as you may recall, after the previous election, I had to bring a petition to try to force pressure on Mr. O'Toole to have a leadership review, and that's what I was asking for. And meanwhile, Pierre not only has the review, but has it at a very early stage.
Now, several Conservative MPs have taken the stage behind me here to address the crowd. All of them have hit on two kind of key themes. The first being what the party believes to be a positive result in the last election, a success in the last election, by increasing their seat count, despite the fact, of course, they did not form government. The other is that all of them were clear that they believe the best path forward for the Conservative Party is with Pierre Poilievre at the helm. Jeremy Charron, CTV News, Calgary.
It is Donut Weekend in Canada. Tim Hortons nationwide are selling these donuts to raise money for Special Olympics. Now through Sunday, 100% of the proceeds will support sports programs for athletes with intellectual disabilities. Since 2022, sales of this limited edition donut has raised more than $3.4 million for Special Olympics Canada, of which Windsor Police are a proud supporter of. Their officers volunteering their time to drum up support for the cause.
I'm just raising money so that other athletes can have different sports, whether it's hockey, baseball, basketball, bocce, all the Special Olympic games, to give people with intellectual disabilities a chance and to help them out wherever they can.
Long lineups, thousands of phone calls, and around-the-clock work. That's the reality just 1 week into business for Windsor's newest pizza joint. CTV's Robert Lothian talked to some passionate pizza fans of Professor Zaz.
In a city where the pie is already divided, Windsor's newest pizza joint is having no trouble cutting a slice of its own.
Like, the response has been insane. The craziest thing I've ever been a part of.
Since opening last week, Dean Litzter's Professor Zaz has had trouble keeping its doors open for all the right reasons.
The weather was quite poor, cold, snowy conditions, like a snowstorm. There's 40 people waiting outside. We had enough stuff for 2 days. They bought it all in one day.
Repeat sellouts forced the longtime pizza chef to toss in new measures. Bakers overnight to prep the dough and moving to walk-in orders only.
So we had 3,500 missed calls on Saturday, and that's insane.
Some customers making multiple trips just to get a slice.
I came because I found out this place is new, and they ran out of slices already on the first day. So I came back today in the morning and they said they have slices.
So in Windsor, where pizza is king and shops are in abundance, what's the draw to Professor Zaz?
We saw it on Facebook. It looked amazing. I think first I heard it from my mother, who heard it from my brother. And when I went to tell my girlfriend about it, she's like, oh, I already know all about this.
I keep seeing it on Instagram a lot of the time, and half the time it was on Facebook.
My mom showed me it on Facebook, and it had some really good reviews.
The power of social media is helping draw in more customers, plus a take on a pizza style that's formed quite the reputation across the river.
I saw someone who had the Detroit style, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's going to be good.
So it's cool to see how just across the river you're trying to Detroit style, because not too much over here.
A thick rectangular pie, Detroit-style pizza has made a name for itself across the world. It's a signature Professor Zaz has put a spin on.
We're selling really, really unique pizzas that you can't get anywhere else, and we're really putting a lot of passion into what we do.
After a wild start, Litzter says they're finding their groove, focusing on pizzas with only locally sourced ingredients and trying to become a staple in Windsor's pizza landscape.
It's like you want to laugh, but you want to cry at the same time, because like it's crazy.
Robert Lothian, CTV News.
In Toronto, the TSX plunged almost 1,100 points. In New York, the Dow lost 179, the Nasdaq down 223. The Canadian dollar fell 1/4 cent today. On commodity markets, gold sank almost $610 an ounce, and oil lost 21 cents a barrel. Protecting babies' brains from radiation. Coming up, a breakthrough. First tried on a toddler at Sick Kids is now going nationwide.
Thank you, Irene Noakes, for this great winter scenic. Just ahead, we'll talk more about less chill in the air. The weather forecast. My report coming up next.
Blue skies, but flurries are in the forecast. Gary joins me now for an extended look at the weather. Gary.
Cold tonight, but not nearly as cold as it has been. There is, across parts of the lower Great Lakes, chance for seeing wind chill values in the -30 to -33 range. I think it'll be between -25 and -30. But notice on this map, extreme southwestern Ontario between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent is not included, which means we, although are remaining cold, won't be as cold as our friends a little bit further east along the 401 towards London, Kitchener, Waterloo, the GTA, and beyond from there. Reached a high of -9.4. Our average was actually creeping closer to the freezing mark. Average high is now -0.9. Yesterday it was -1 on the nose. Some signs of things warming up, statistically speaking, the expectations. Right now, we're looking at scattered cloud through the overnight, a chance of a light dusting to upwards of about 1/2 centimeter or 1 centimeter in the next 24 hours in terms of the overall snow tally. So it's light, generally speaking, across much of southern Ontario proper, and there's a good chance we'll get into some sunshine, a little mixture of sun and cloud for both Saturday and Sunday. Overnight temperatures are chilly though, down to -18 at around 3 or 4 a.m. and that feels closer to about -22 to -24. The breakdown for tomorrow, again, not a complete washout of snow. We're not looking at blizzard conditions. This weekend shaping up to be much better. It's just cold. -17 at 8 a.m., -13, and a mixture of sun and cloud with a 40% chance of flurries through the midday. And might see a high of about -9 at around 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Take a look at our Enercare Siles 7-day forecast. Temperatures for daytime highs this week coming will be in the -single digits instead of the -double digits. We'll get sunnier on Sunday. Flurries and cloudy both Monday and Tuesday. -4 and then -4. -6, then -5, and then +1 a week from now. Imagine it, some wet snow, but a temperature of 1 degree Celsius. That would be 2 degrees above seasonal. Let's look at your weather.
A technique first tried on a toddler at Sick Kids almost 2 decades ago is now being scaled nationwide. As Pauline Chan tells us, it's aimed at avoiding radiation on a baby's developing brain.
To be honest, the only thing I remember was like waking up in the morning just to get like the pokes in my Omaya.
CJ Brown was just 2 when he was diagnosed with a lethal brain tumor known as ATRT. And when he didn't respond fully to surgery and chemotherapy, Dr. Annie Huang faced a dilemma. She could use radiation to destroy the tumor in his brain, but she had seen the devastating effects radiation typically had on a young, rapidly developing brain.
They're completely dependent. So we do them a disservice. We've cured their tumor, but we've left them with a life that's not what they should have had.
But she had seen good results in leukemia patients of a different technique, and she hoped she could modify it to get chemotherapy directly to the brain and cerebrospinal fluid.
I was just hoping, to buy them some time.
The technique, using something called an Omaya reservoir, bought CJ not just time, but a healthy, normal childhood.
The kid's looking at you, having lunch, whatever, you pop it and you put the chemo in. So that way they don't have to be anesthetized.
Now they're beginning to use this approach in centers across Canada.
We've now started to extrapolate to other types of cancers that arise in these very young children. So the majority are still going to be ATRT, but we have some other tumors called ETMR, which is somewhat of a different flavor, but also, in fact, more aggressive than ATRT.
Dr. Huang says more sophisticated technology now is allowing them to better identify and track the cancers and their response to the therapy.
Well, it feels good for me to know it helps other kids.
And CJ, now a healthy, cancer-free 20-year-old, is happy his childhood challenges have inspired hope for others. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Over the next few weeks, Medical Officer of Health Dr. Mehdi Alouche will be joining us in studio. The focus, key priorities for the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit in 2026. Dr. Alouche, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Stefanie.
So what are some of the infectious diseases that we are currently tracking right now?
This is winter time. We are tracking respiratory diseases, flu, COVID, RSV. You might remember we had a significant issue with measles in 2025. We are tracking that infection too, and we're tracking a bunch of other infectious diseases going to the summertime. And as the situation, the temperature goes higher, we are tracking vector-borne diseases, Lyme, West Nile virus, and other diseases.
And how does our location in Windsor, Essex affect how these diseases are reaching us?
We are a border city. We have a very diverse population. We are connected to every part of the world. We travel to other parts of the world. We have a unique climate here. The southern part of Ontario, the southern part of the country, it's warmer. We have mosquitoes. We have other vectors, Lyme disease. So that put us at a higher risk of all of these diseases.
And as you mentioned, you guys are tracking so many different diseases. And if any of our viewers at home want to take a look online, they can easily do that, right?
Yes, they can go on our website. We have wastewater surveillance for some of those diseases. We have case counts, and it shows us on our website. This is very timely reporting on our website.
Okay, Dr. Mehdi Alouche, thank you so much for joining us. Now, next week, we will be talking about food insecurity in our community that's having a devastating impact on our health. Once a haven for autistic families, now closed, millions pulled, and a police investigation underway. Coming up, what happened at Jake's house.
Jim Gaffigan takes the Coliseum stage with all new material on his Everything is Wonderful tour, Friday, March 6th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see Jim Gaffigan at Caesars Windsor, plus a $200 gift card.
We're learning more about the sudden closure of an Ontario charity that displaced nearly 30 residents. Jake's House was previously the subject of a W5 investigation. Now, a government audit into the organization has been referred to the OPP. CTV's John Woodward reports.
Jake's House was a resource for families with autistic children, offering housing in a facility north of London, Ontario, and community.
It's a wonderful opportunity for families who have members that have autism.
That facility closed last year after Ontario's Ministry of Children, Community and Social Services ended a $9.3 million funding agreement with the charity. The 27 residents sent packing.
I wish we could stay here for another couple of years, but it's really emotional to me.
Exactly why that funding was pulled was a mystery then, but this week it emerged that Ontario's Treasury Board Secretariat had conducted an audit and referred its findings to the Ontario Provincial Police, which said in a statement they were looking into transfer payments from the ministry, including finances and contracts. Founders Irenka and David Bodanis didn't return CTV's messages for comment. Last year, the charity's executive director insisted she knew of no good reason to be concerned about its finances.
We've done a lot of really good things here at the home, and it's absolutely heartbreaking.
At the time, Jake's House was also receiving $3.5 million from Ontario's Controversial Skills Development Fund, the same fund under a microscope by the legislature's Integrity Commissioner, looking into whether Labour Minister David Piccini played favourites while doling out grants to his party's friends and donors. It's the second police investigation into a Skills Development Fund recipient. Jake's House was also featured in a W5 series in 2024, looking into clothing donation bins. Through tracking, W5 found that a company collecting donated clothes on the charity's behalf packaged and sold them in bales, some ending up as far away as North Africa. Ontario's opposition leader accusing the province of failing to do proper due diligence into organizations before committing millions of dollars. A government spokesperson says it acted when its standards weren't met, saying the active investigation into this organization demonstrates that these accountability processes are working. Jake's House had plans to reopen. Now its operations are controlled by a receiver in a process supervised by Ontario's Superior Court. John Woodward, CTV News.
Extending the life of a vehicle can be a significant money saver in the long term, and if maintained properly, can lead to some pretty substantial odometer numbers. Pat Foran has the story of one car owner closing in on $1 million.
Marco Intihar of Claremont owns a 2000 Toyota Sienna van. It's been in the family since new and is affectionately known as Betsy. He recently videoed the odometer as it clicked over to 999,999 kilometers, which is the most it can record.
99999 has been achieved. Woo! Let's hear it for Betsy.
For Intihar, it was a family goal to hit the $1 million mark.
It's unreal. It really is. I think when you do some research, how many vehicles have actually gotten to 1 million kilometers, that aren't big semis or whatever, it's just astounding. Starts up every time first day.
We first met Intihar 4 years ago when his van had just clicked over to 930,000 kilometers.
Bam! Love it. Transmission level looks good.
He says his father believed in following the maintenance schedule closely, especially oil changes.
You just got to give her the love. Don't go past your oil changes.
Another reason we did the story, it's still on its first drivetrain.
It has the original engine and transmission.
Intihar says his parents put on most of the 1 million kilometers driving to polka festivals all over North America.
They would take lots of trips down south, Florida, wherever there was a polka festival, they would go.
To get this kind of mileage, Consumer Reports says start with a reliable vehicle and keep it well maintained.
Routine maintenance is definitely key to longevity. It costs some time in the shop and money for those maintenance items, but it's generally money and time well spent.
Your best bet, follow your owner's manual.
All the fluid changes matter, all the filter changes matter, and it does add up, but it is cheaper than repairs down the line.
As for Intihar, he says his father would be proud to know Betsy made it to 1 million kilometers.
It was just my dad's dream to get to 1 million, and it's done. So I think we're going to gracefully put her out to pasture. Toyota should be proud. That's a pretty impressive thing to have accomplished.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. West of Windsor Incorporated International Women's Day celebration returns to acknowledge amazing women, individuals, businesses, and organizations through West's Journey Toward Success Awards. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, you have some good news. This is for Caesars Windsor.
That's right. So it looks like Caesars Windsor is holding a winning hand in a new national casino ranking. According to Bet.com, Caesars Windsor is ranked number 2 among the top land-based casinos in Canada. The list is based on thousands of user reviews across Google, TripAdvisor, and Yelp, weighted for both score and volume. Reviewers praise the casino for its entertainment offerings, professional service, and overall player experience, keeping it a favorite for locals and visitors alike. Now, we've got those details online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And Melanie, we also have a story on the website about changes as the number of flu cases are actually declining in the region. A good thing?
That's right. So Hotel de Grace Healthcare is preparing to close its surge unit area. The hospital opened its 2 North surge unit in mid-December to help support other local hospitals during the busy holiday season. The region was experiencing a spike in flu cases over the holidays between December 16th and January 12th. Hotel Dieu saw 21 admissions to the unit. You can find more flu stats on our website. And in our social spotlight, talk about setting the bar high for your wedding.
Thank you all for being here.
Wow, Tina and Roger took their wedding to a new height on board a Southwest plane. The flight attendant officiated while the other passengers cheered them on. Guess they'll go from their wedding straight to their honeymoon, Stefanie.
I don't blame them. Weddings are extremely expensive nowadays.
Exactly.
If you wanted to plan a vacation anyways, why not? Everyone's cheering them on. There's a videographer right there. Congratulations, guys. Yeah,
looks like a great time.
It was. Okay, if some of our viewers at home have some cool video they want to show you, how can they do it?
Yeah, they can email us at newsnow@bellmedia.ca or text it to 10400.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. This van didn't just stall, it froze when we return New York's coolest ride. Are we seeing any little paw prints in there at all, or just footprints?
No, those are big people.
Big people? Humans?
Hey, I did see a little rabbit running in the snow. Quite
So
beautiful.
cute.
It wasn't an Arctic hare or anything like that, but they're quite comfy in their furry coats. Meanwhile, we have to contend with wind chill values close to about -24 tomorrow morning, but we will see some sunshine intermixed with some flurries, and then sunny again for Sunday, even more so. -9 followed by -6, the highs respectively. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, some flurries possible, -4, -4, -6, and then snow and flurries. Thursday and Friday, a week from now, we could be 2 degrees above seasonal, +1. Imagine that. By the way, A shout out to our good friends at Carousels for our 7-day forecast, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Yeah, hopefully they will. Unfortunately, we have some sad news in the entertainment world, and Travis, you have more on that tonight.
That's right. We're following the tragic news of the passing of Canadian comedy icon Katherine O'Hara. Tonight at 11, we are going to hear from members of Windsor's arts community. We're going to hear from Vincent Georgie with WIF, and we're also going to hear from 2 local female comedians about the impact she and her career had. She was pretty much a trailblazer in the Canadian comedy game.
Okay, looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Travis. Finally tonight, a van in New York City found itself in a deep freeze after a pipe burst, unleashing a frigid waterfall. Take a look at this. The soaking quickly turned to ice, encasing the van in a thick shell of frozen water, leaving it looking more like a popsicle than a ride. Crews showed up armed with tools and patience, working to chip away and thaw what might be the city's most unexpected ice sculpture, a giant ice cube on wheels. That's pretty cool. First thing that comes to mind is Elsa from Frozen just went blast.
The first thing that came to mind for me was I hope nobody was in there. I wouldn't have wanted to be in there.
That's true. You fall asleep and then you won't be able to get out. But yeah, that's going to wreck that vehicle. Yeah, gosh. Hate to see a waste like that.
That's what insurance is for, right?
Exactly.
On behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Gary and I will be back with your only late local newscast at 11.
See you then.
Good night.